it's Miss Nikki here. Thanks so much for waiting for me to get started. I had some trouble getting my iPad going so I could get you guys some bedtime stories tonight. I hope you've all had a wonderful weekend. It's been kind of rainy, kind of hot, but it's still been pretty nice. I hope you guys have been enjoying yourselves. I've got some great bedtime stories to share with you tonight, and we're just going to go ahead and get started. All right, we're going to start with this one first. This one came into the library a couple years ago, I think 2 years ago. Excuse me. And I really like it because it's kind of a twist on an old story. Old MacDonald Had a Truck. This one's written by Steve Goetz and illustrated by Ida Caban. We all know Old MacDonald had a farm, right? Old MacDonald Had a Truck was a little bit different. Old MacDonald had a truck. Here we are. No words yet, but we can see what's going on in the pictures, right? I see some critters. I see some plants. Looks like a field, so maybe a farm. And there's a truck. There's a couple of people in there. Let's see. You see who we got there? They look nice. I bet they are nice. Old MacDonald had a farm. E-I-E-I-O. And there's his farm critters. Some foxes. But what are they wearing? Are those safety vests? And on that farm, he had an excavator. E-I-E-I-O. With a dig here and a dig there. Here a dig, there a dig. Everywhere a dig. This doesn't sound like Old MacDonald's regular farm. Old MacDonald had a farm. E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm, he had a front loader. E-I-E-I, whoa! With a scoop here and a scoop there. Here a scoop, there a scoop, everywhere a scoop. Old MacDonald had a farm. E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm, he had a bulldozer. E-I-E-I-Mow. With a push here and a push there. Here a push, there a push, everywhere a push. Old MacDonald had a farm. E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm, he had a motor grader. E-I-E-I-Ho. With a scrape rake here and a scrape rake there. Here a scrape, there a rake, everywhere a scrape rake. Old MacDonald had a farm. E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm, he had a dump truck. E-I-E-I-O. With a dump thump here and a dump thump there. Here a dump, there a thump, everywhere a dump thump. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm, he had a steamroller. E-I-E-I, slow. With a squish smash here and a squish smash there. Here a squish, there a smash, everywhere a squish smash. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm, he had a cement mixer, E-I-E-I, flow. With a spin whirl here and a spin whirl there. Here a spin, there a whirl, everywhere a spin whirl. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm, he had a truck. It's a monster truck. E-I-E-I, go! They are building a racetrack. What fun. Old MacDonald had something special at his farm, didn't he? Not the same old farm you thought there was. I got 2 more wonderful stories to share with you guys. I hope you liked that one. We've got another silly story. This one is one that I really like to read to my friends at the library. It's called Too Much Glue. I like to use glue, but sometimes it can get too much. And I know my teacher friends, especially my teacher friends at Tiger Cubs, they always make sure to say, a little drop does a lot, or a little dot does a lot. You don't need very much glue whenever you're doing crafts, right? I always try to remember that too. Too Much Glue. It's written by Jason Lefevre and illustrated by Zach Retz. Here's our title page. Got some glue. We already knew that was going to happen. And there's the back of our title page. Looks like a classroom. Our art teacher says, too much glue never dries. She reminds us, glue raindrops, not puddles. And she warns me, Maddie, too much glue. But my dad and I love glue. At home, we make glue glasses, glue mustaches, and even glue bouncy balls. Mom is happy to help. She's got the hot glue gun. So during art class, I find the fullest bottles of glue. I tip them over and squeeze. Bloop. Glue squishes from the orange tip and flops all over. Sequins and googly eyes float around in a gluey lake. Then it's time for the most important decoration. Geronimo! Oh no! I belly flop onto the table and roll around, letting the glue and everything else cover me. Oh no, Maddie! Time to go on the drying rack, I announce. But when I try to pull myself off the table, I boing right back down. Too much glue, Maddie! Too much my teacher squawks. This is bad. There's only half an hour left until the end of school, and all I can do is lift my head, wave my hands, and wiggle my feet. The rest of me is a blocky, stucky mess. Can somebody help me? I call. While my teacher breathes into a paper bag, Noah shouts, "Let's lasso him!" Izzy, Noah, and Owen get to work. Soon, I'm roped from all sides like a rodeo pony. But when they try to pull me out, snap! The lassos break, leaving colorful octopus tentacles everywhere. The glue is too strong, and now I'm a clingy, stringy, blocky, stucky mess. "Don't worry, Maddie, we know what to do," shout Luke and Grace from across the room. Is that a tow truck?" I ask as they wheel the contraption over and stick a plastic hook into my suit of glue. My friends pull one way and the glue pulls the other. Creak, click, creak, click, until... kaboom! The tow truck explodes and plastic bricks rain all over. Now I'm a clicky bricky, clingy, stringy, blocky, stucky mess. The school nurse bursts in and checks my temperature. 98.6, sorry, no fever, I can't send you home early. She dabs and pats me like I'm spilled juice, but the more she blots, the more the glue spreads. Soon I'm a melted mummy, clicky bricky, clingy, stringy, blocky, stucky mess. Oh no! Then the principal comes in. He takes one look at me, sticks a note on my belly, and leaves. Seeing my teacher huffing and puffing like a train gives me a great idea. I whisper it to Haley and Owen. The final bell rings and everyone freezes, except Owen and Haley. "It's the biggest one we could make," they shout, furiously flapping a huge paper fan at me. Then, just as I'm thinking I'll be a note on my tummy, melted mummy, clicky bricky, clingy stringy, blocky stucky glue boy for the rest of my life, my plan works. Something my teacher said never could happen, happens. The glue dries. But I'm still stuck. And now I hear footsteps. The door starts to open. My father and some other carpool parents walk in. Dad comes closer and inspects me. Then he peels me off the table. Glue, yarn, bricks, and all. He spins me around. No one makes a sound. Then Dad smiles. "Maddie, you're a masterpiece." He holds me up for everyone to admire. My friends all cheer. The car ride home is interesting. It looks like he's losing some of his pieces. Mom is speechless when Dad brings me in the house. But he knows just what to do. "Well, kiddo," Dad says, "some beautiful things only happen once, and this is one of those things." He gently grips the dried glue in front of my neck and behind my collar, and peels it open like a ripe banana. Now it's Dad's turn to glue, and he seals up the sides of the me-shaped work of art. I bet it would take all the glue in the art room to make a U-shaped work of art, Dad, I say. Dad laughs. Then he glues a big magnet on the back of my project and hangs it on the fridge. Right there it is. During dinner, we sneak peeks at my masterpiece. And after dinner, we take the principal's note very seriously. The note says, "From the desk of Elmer G. Stuckey, please encourage Maddie to use tape instead of glue." Well, they took his advice, didn't they? Oh, that's such a fun story. I love reading that one. Too Much Glue is one of my favorite stories. It's very, very silly, and I love silly stories. All right, friends, I have one more story to share with you, and this one is extra special. You can see it has 2 medals on it. This silver medal is the Caldecott Honor, and this gold medal is the John Newbery Medal. That's a really good one. I hope you guys got good looks at those. I wanted to make sure you could see them. This story is called Last Stop on Market Street. It's written by Matt De La Pena and illustrated by Christian Robinson. I love, love, love this story. It's one of my very favorite stories. Probably because of this little boy and his grandma. The whole story is about them and their time together. And when I was a little girl, I loved spending time with my grandma. I called her Granny. And we did so many things together all the time. Here's some illustrations. Before we get started, it looks like they live in a city, right? All the houses are very close together. There's lots of cars and people. Looks like a city to me. CJ pushed through the church doors and skipped down the steps. The outside air smelled like freedom, but it also smelled like rain, which freckled CJ's shirt and dripped down his nose. He ducked under his Nana's umbrella, saying, "How come we gotta wait for the bus and all this wet?" "Trees get thirsty too," his Nana told him. "Don't you see that big one drinking through a straw?" CJ looked for a long time, but he never saw a straw. From the bus stop, he watched water pool on flower petals, watched rain patter against the windshield of a nearby car. His friend Colby climbed in, gave CJ a wave, and drove off with his dad. "Nana, how come we don't got a car?" Well, not everybody has a car. Lots of people don't have cars. "Boy, what do we need a car for? We got a bus that breathes fire, and old Mr. Dennis, who always has a trick for you." The bus creaked to a stop in front of them. It sighed and sagged, and the doors swung open. A lot of people ride buses in the city. "What's that?" Mr. Dennis asked. He pulled a coin from behind CJ's ear, placed it in his palm. Nana laughed her deep laugh and pushed CJ along. They sat right up front. The man across the way was tuning a guitar. An old woman with curlers had butterflies in a jar. Nana gave everyone a great big smile and a "good afternoon." She made sure that CJ did the same. "Thou looks so nice and smiley." The bus lurched forward and stopped, lurched forward and stopped. Nana hummed as she knit. "How come we always gotta go here after church?" CJ said. "Miguel and Colby never have to go nowhere." "I feel sorry for those boys," she told him. "They'll never get a chance to meet Bobo or the Sunglass Man. And I hear Trixie got herself a brand new hat." CJ stared out the window, feeling sorry for himself. He watched cars zip by on either side, watched a group of boys hop curbs on bikes. A man climbed aboard with a spotted dog. CJ gave up his seat. "How come that man can't see?" "Boy, what do you know about seeing?" Nana told him. "Some people watch the world with their ears." "That's a fact. Their noses, too," the man said, sniffing at the air. "That's a mighty fine perfume you're wearing today, ma'am." Nana squeezed the man's hand and laughed her deep laugh. And in the darkness, I missed a page, sorry friends. Two older boys got on next. CJ watched as they moved on by and stood in the back. "Sure wish I had one of those." Nana set down her knitting. "What for? You got the real live thing sitting across from you. Why don't you ask the man if he'll play us a song?" CJ didn't have to. The guitar player was already plucking strings and beginning to sing. "To feel the magic of music," the blind man whispered. "I like to close my eyes." Nana closed hers too. So did CJ and the spotted dog. And in the darkness, the rhythm lifted CJ out of the bus, out of the busy city. He saw sunset colors swirling over crashing waves, saw a family of hawks slicing through the sky, saw the old woman's butterflies dancing free in the light of the moon. CJ's chest grew full, and he was lost in the sound, and the sound gave him the feeling of magic. The song ended, and CJ opened his eyes. Everyone on the bus clapped, even the boys in the back. Nana glanced at the coin in CJ's palm. CJ dropped it in the man's hat. "Last stop on Market Street," Mr. Dennis called. CJ looked around as he stepped off the bus. Crumbling sidewalks and broken down doors. Graffiti-tagged windows and boarded-up stores. He reached for his Nana's hand. "How come it's always so dirty over here?" She smiled and pointed to the sky. "Sometimes, when you're surrounded by dirt, CJ, you're a better witness for what's beautiful." That is beautiful. It's a beautiful rainbow. CJ saw the perfect rainbow arcing over their soup kitchen. He wondered how his Nana always found beautiful where he never even thought to look. He looked all around them again, and the bus rounding the corner out of sight, and the broken street lamps still lit up bright, and the stray cat shadows moving across the wall. When he spotted their familiar faces in the window. He said, "I'm glad we came." He thought his Nana might laugh her deep laugh, but she didn't. She patted him on the head and told him, "Me too, CJ. Now come on." And there they are, friends. There's CJ and his Nana, and they are serving food to people in a soup kitchen. That's a wonderful thing to do. And there they are at the bus stop after they've done their due, and now they're going home. I love that story. My granny and I used to do wonderful things for people on Sundays after church, and that story brings me so many special memories. I hope you guys have lots of special memories that you can bring away from this weekend. I hope everybody had a wonderful time, and I hope that you guys can join me again right here on Wednesday morning for story time. We have songs and stories, and we always have a great time. Have a great night, everybody. Friends, make sure you brush your teeth, wash your face, and I'll see you Wednesday. Good night.